I'm Blake Wolters. I just graduated from Seymour, and I plan on attending University of Arizona to play baseball.
When did you start picking up a baseball?
Yeah, I played t-ball. I think kindergarten or 5 years old, kind of around that age. Played t-ball with all my friends and parents as the coach.
When did you start pitching?
I think it was 8 or 9 years old when I started playing travel baseball. Around that time is when I first pitched.
What travel teams you played for?
Started off the first 2 years at the Champaign Express, and then went to the Mahomet Dime Dogs, and then ended up playing on Mahomet Seymour Bulldogs Baseball Club. That's a club that my parents started up, and then after that, we had COVID, and then I played for the Yard Goats, kind of based out of Champaign.
What was the transition like from junior high to the high school?
It was a big transition. You're going against a lot bigger players, a lot better players. So I had to mature and get a lot more physical and stronger and things of that sense.
When did you start in high school?
Yeah, freshman year, we were planning on having a season. I think it would have been on JV, and but that season ended up getting canceled because of COVID, and then. My sophomore year, I started on varsity throughout the whole year.
Biggest improvement in your game since you were a freshman?
Yeah, the biggest thing is probably just my strength. I could always, play pretty well. I guess hit like decent and knew kind of how to pitch. But definitely like when I added strength, all the hitting and I got more power hitting and can throw the ball harder and all that sort of stuff with the strengths. I'm 6'4" and I weigh 215. Yeah, it would be nice to get one more inch or two for height, but I think I'm pretty much set at 6'4", and then weight I might add maybe 5 pounds to get up to 220. I'm not looking to add too much. I'm pretty good where I'm at, so maybe just a few pounds on the weight.
Thinking about taking baseball seriously?
Yeah, I always loved the game and played for fun. But the end of my sophomore year was when I realized I had a little bit of potential pitching, and that's when I started to take it serious and focus on my training and stuff like that.
What do you enjoy so much about baseball?
It's just a fun game to go out and play with all your friends. But what I love the most, I think, is just seeing how much hard work and dedication can pay off, and seeing once you start seeing strides and if it's in velo or just in pitching and in general, as you get better and better, it just motivates you to keep working. And I just love seeing this stuff, your hard work pay off in that sense.
You're very humble. When you're on the field, it's one thing, but when you're off the field, you're a completely different kid. You're just like anybody else. What do you credit that to?
I think just the way my parents raised me and the values that we've had, and just kind of having faith. You're never better than anybody else. Probably just my parents, the way they raised me, and just the faith.
What is your workout routine?
Yeah, so it changes in the off season to in season, but in the off season, lift 4 days a week, 2 of them lower body, one's upper body, and then one's kind of total. Do a lot of like explosive med ball work, stuff like that, and the core lifting as well. And then throwing 5 or 6 days a week, depending. And then in season lift maybe 3 times a week, and scale it down just a little bit, just try to maintain the strength. And then throwing 5 days a week, and having a bullpen in the middle, a light intent bullpen in the middle of the week, and then have your start on the weekend. What makes me unique is the kind of journey I've been on, and the progress I've been able to make over the past couple of years, and also being, I guess, from Central Illinois, where you don't think there's a lot of talent, but there's a lot of kids out in Central Illinois that can that have a lot of talent. So being from Central Illinois and kind of my story and the progress in the past couple of years.
What obstacles have you faced along the way?
I guess starting off my sophomore year, I wasn't very good and gave up a lot of runs early on, and had a couple of really, really bad starts. So, working through that, and then also I think it was the end of my the fall of my sophomore year, I broke my left arm sliding into third. So that was tough. I was out for a while, but I think all those setbacks kind of you work through them, and it makes you stronger in the end.
When did you realize you had what it took to play at the college level?
I think going back to the end of that sophomore year, at that time I wasn't at like the college level, like being recruitable. But I realized that if I put in the work, then I could get there. And so into that summer, and then the beginning of my junior year, I kind of knew that that could be a possibility.
What are a few things you'd like to work on as you further your career?
Yeah, the biggest thing right now is throwing the change up. Make sure I have 3 solid pitches, and maybe working on 1 more. But yeah, so definitely the biggest thing is the change up, and then also just be more consistent and being able to hold the velo throughout the whole game.
Favorite game to be a part of?
Yeah, I think pitching against Effingham on one of those Saturdays was really fun. It was a great matchup. They're a great team, and made a great run. So it was cool to match up against them.
What was it like going up against Mizzou commit Josh McDevitt?
It was awesome. You want to play against the best, and he had our number that day, and he was amazing. But it's fun because you have to be at the top of your game because of who you're going up against, and it pushes each person gets pushed, and makes for just a more fun game.
We're averaging almost 2 Ks an inning this past year. What do you credit that to?
I think the biggest thing is just preparation and doing all the training and everything leading up to it, and then also being able to execute my slider through it often, and it was a good swing and miss pitch. So being able to throw both fastball and slider, and then just all the preparation going into it.
Hitting wise, you can also rake at the plate. Batting almost 400, that's unheard of, especially for a pitcher as well. What do you credit that to?
I mean, growing up, I would always hit, always want to be in the lineup. I think hitting's fun, but it can be really frustrating at times. So I think growing up, always hitting, and taking time in the cage with my dad and stuff like that.
Wolters just put it out of the park.
Your earned run average was sub 4.45, which is crazy for an 18-year-old kid. But in general, crediting that to obviously you work hard, but besides that, kind of talk about that.
When you pitch, you try to limit runs and hits. You don't want to give that up. I think when you give up something or walks and stuff like that, you have guys on base. Having a lower ERA means you can get out of those jams. So that's what I tried to do. Anytime you walk or give a base to somebody, then you want to just come back and get the next guy.
So when did colleges start reaching out to you?
I think it was the kind of fall of my junior year, I guess the very end of the summer of my sophomore going into my junior year. That's when they first I threw, I think, had some video of me throwing 90, 91 inside, and then posted on Twitter, and that's when colleges started looking at me.
Throwing 97.7 at Prep Baseball Report, you already committed to Arizona then, but the fact that you decommitted from Purdue in the first place, going to Arizona, what's that mean to you?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. You hate going back on your word and changing it up, but I had a great opportunity to go to a school like Arizona, and it was a better situation financially too for my family. So all that combined just made it a no-brainer for me. A tough decision, but it ended up being a good one, and yeah, I'm excited.
What actually went into the commitment to Arizona?
I mean, a discussion with my family, being able to go for, I had a good academic scholarship already, so being able to go for, relatively inexpensive, I guess is the right way to say it. But that also, my sister's there as well. So, I mean, that's another bonus, but I kind of want to get out of the Midwest and go play somewhere warm where you can, play year round. And it's just a great opportunity. They have a great history. I think they have 4 national championships, great coaching staff that I'm excited to, get into and be a part of. So all that combined just made it an easy decision.
What was the recruiting process like?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went through it 2 times. So the first time it was, the biggest thing was just, I guess, a video on Twitter of me, a video of me throwing, and then it has radar gun, 91. And so I posted on Twitter, then, some coaches follow me on Twitter and whatnot. And then I had one of my coaches reach out to a couple schools around, like Purdue, and they actually saw me pitch in the fall. And then I went on a visit there and ended up committing shortly after that. So yeah, that was the first time. And then the second time, I had decommitted, again, post stuff on Twitter. A lot of college coaches followed me after that, and reached out. One of my coaches reached out to Arizona that I was going to be pitching in a tournament in Georgia and over the summer. And so they were going out to see me there and had interest, and then they saw me pitch. And then after that, just talked, and then gave me an offer, and I committed. But overall, I think, technology, the Twitter has helped me out quite a bit, and just the connections that my coaches were able to make. But I think the recruiting process can be really stressful, and I didn't enjoy it very much. It wasn't my favorite, just because there's a lot of stress involved. But ended up turning out great.
For the young kids out there that are wanting to pitch like you, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, the biggest thing is you need to, have the work and dedication to back up, what you're promoting yourself as. You can't go to a PBR event having not, worked, and then you go there and you're throwing really slow, or you can't hit very hard or anything. So, in my opinion, that's just kind of a waste of money. So make sure before you do any events or tournaments and showcase yourself around the country that you're ready for it, and put in the work beforehand so you have something to show and you're recruitable to the coaches. Also, I think it's really good to just be in constant communication with your parents. Things can be stressful, like I said. Making sure you communicate freely, and you also communicate with your coaches, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, make sure you put in the work so that you can back it up when you play.
What's it mean to you to have all these scouts watching you pitch, but also gunning your speed and kind of the respect coming your way as a pitcher?
Yeah, it's really cool. It shows what hard work can do. But it's cool that they're taking their own time to scout you, to watch your games. I think it's a sign of respect, and really humbling to see.
You are the first All-American outside of downstate Chicago, first time since 1978 from this area. What's that mean to you?
It's cool. I think that Central Illinois and Southern Illinois baseball is on the rise, and it's cool to represent the area. And I think that our area deserves a little bit more respect compared to Chicago. We have a lot of good players, but kind of more spread out, I guess. But yeah, it's really cool. It's cool being on some of those lists with a lot of great players.
Former Muhammad Seymour pitcher Blake Wolters can now call himself an All-American. The Arizona signee named a third-team selection by the ABCA in Rawlings today. Wolters, the Illinois Gatorade and WCIA3 Player of the Year. After a standout senior season, he's projected as a high pick, potentially a first-round selection in next month's draft.
Who's your pitching coach?
Yeah, and when I'm not in the high school season, it's been Anthony Silkwood. He's the head coach at Parkland University, and he coached for the Yard Goats. He's helped me out tremendously and helping me make some big strides, and also has a lot of connections with with college coaches and things of that sort. And then in the season, it's been in the high school season, it's been Brian Bazier. He's been awesome, a great coach, and also very influential on my success.
What type of an impact has Coach DiFilippo had on you?
Yeah, he's been a good coach for me, and I've had him since junior high, so we've been on the journey together. It's been cool to see, and he did a great job this year of communicating of when I was going to pitch, and tried the best to map out all the starts and stuff so I could be at my best this season.
Yeah, coaching Blake's a dream. I mean, honestly, he's the kind of guy that you want to have in the program. I started coaching him in 7th grade. So watching him from 7th grade to develop to where he got his freshman year, and then we had COVID, and then to see where he became our number one as a sophomore. He became a legitimate dominant guy his junior year, and now we're looking at he's a legitimate, top, obviously one of the top pitchers in the state of Illinois. And his work ethic is second to none. He's really realized what it takes to get to that level. He's had a lot of great influences from, some of our coaching staff and the other guys that he's worked with, and they've really helped him prepare for, what's to come for the future. The thing that's amazing is he's just as good as a person off the field, maybe even better than he is on the field, to be honest. He's a leader. He's amazing in the classroom. He leads FCA, and his faith is probably the most important thing to him, and he really lives that too. So when you look at those things, it's a blessing to have him, in the program. It's a dream for me to coach.
Starting with the Super 60, everything changed. Blake went out through 97.7 in February, and I think from that moment on, I'm pretty sure I talked to at least one major league scout every day for the rest of the year, if not, multiple, if that makes sense. So it was absolutely, I would say, a good crazy, if that makes sense, just for the simple fact of there was every team. I mean, we talked to all 30 teams, and as the season progressed, it just kind of built, and it wasn't just scouts, but it was the area cross-checkers, and it was the national guys. And I think the craziest was, when GMs started walking into the dugout and wanted to talk about Blake before a game. It just kind of hit an all-time high of this is just not normal for, high school baseball anywhere, I would say, and specifically not Central Illinois. When I think about Blake, I've talked to a few of the scouts, and they're all telling me what they see is he's still got so much left in the tank, velocity-wise, which is crazy. I mean, he's been anywhere, 88 or 98, 99, 100. One group had him at 101 in the pen, and they're saying he's still got more. I mean, they're thinking 102, 103 possibly, which is a crazy number to think about. But, his ceiling is only going to get so much better when he truly masters his off-speed stuff. When his changeup is big league ready and his slider continues to get better with a little bit more swing and miss, for that type of level. I mean, we're talking about a very high possible first-round draft pick. So you talk about a ceiling, and you're talking Major League Baseball, and I think that's a realistic possibility.
As a coach's perspective, what type of an impact has he had on you?
Just think about Blake and who he is. We've been blessed to have him on and off the field, but a kid who's handled this unbelievably. You think about what this is like for an 18-year-old kid, and he's been more humble than I think anybody I know would ever be in his shoes, right? He wants everything thrown to his team. He's legitimately like reward the team, right? It's not 1 in 25 guys, right? It's a 26-man team. I wouldn't be able to do what I could do if it wasn't for them. If I didn't have a catcher in Carter Johnson, I didn't have, and he goes all the way down to, like Luke Severance, who's our manager. If I didn't have Luke helping me prepare, I would not be as good as I was. Where it would be easy for Blake to be like, hey, I'm the guy, right? I'm throwing 100 miles an hour, and that's not Blake. right? And he truly is selfless, right? He's putting everyone else first. And I think most importantly, his faith has been unbelievable. For a kid, when he broke his arm, he's out there praying about it. And hey, whatever God wants, this is going to work out. I'm going to be fine. When this happened a couple years ago, and when all the scouts got crazy, he's like, hey, God's will is going to work out. I'm going to be fine. And it's you can live these moments, but when you see a kid who's 18, who's got faith as strong as he does, I see it as an inspiration to myself and to everybody in our community and who were on our team, because Blake really handled it better than I think anyone truly can or would have. If you think about, you're talking about Major League Scouts and millions of dollars possibly getting thrown around with your name.
You just received not too long ago Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Illinois. That's pretty legit. That shows like Mike Trout, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter from different states. When people hear that and you kind of hear that, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, the goal, it was actually a goal going into the season, and I knew about it. I mean, I wanted to be the best player in the state. That was my goal. And I'm not sure if the Gatorade is a direct reflection of it. I mean, there's some, I guess, character parts that go into the award as well, which I think is really cool. But it was a goal of mine before, and it was really awesome, to receive the news that I wanted.
Big congrats to Blake Wolters. The Mahomet Seymour Ace has been named the Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year. First player from Mahomet Seymour to win that award. Walters finished the season with a .43 ERA. He's projected to be an early pick in this year's MLB draft.
What do you credit your athleticism to?
I think I got lucky with some genes of getting the height and being athletic. My mom was a good tennis player. She played in college, but a lot of it was hard work and training. But also just kind of got lucky. And
top player to go up against, pitcher and hitter.
Yeah, pitcher was definitely Josh. He was incredible this year. Hitter, over the summer I faced a guy named Kevin McGonigal. I think he's from Pennsylvania. He was pretty legit. And then also, I guess last year, faced Addison Worthman from Bloomington. And we had played him earlier in the year, and he crushed some balls. So I was excited to go up against him because he's a great hitter. So those guys.
When people say Mahomet baseball will not be the same without Blake Wolters,
shows that you made an impact. I tried my best to do that. But also, they have a lot of good talent and young guys that are going to step up and fill the roles. So they'll be fine, but it's cool knowing that you made a big impact on the community.
your dad is from St. Anthony and your mom went to T-Town, and you're here at Mahomet. How does that work knowing that you're from the area of Effingham County?
I didn't have much of a choice. I was just, born here and went to school here. But, my parents went to the University of Illinois. And then once they moved here, they stayed around the area and got jobs at the U of I. So, ended up going to Mahomet. But, I didn't have any choice. So
You're getting some pretty big draft stock and publicity. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's, an awesome opportunity. If the right, offer and situation plays out, that'd be an awesome route. And if not, have an amazing plan of going to Arizona as well. So either way.
What would you tell the young Blake to current?
Yeah, biggest thing is don't compare yourself. Just keep on working on being 1% better every day. Stick to the plan and trust the plan. Trust all your training and what you did to prepare, and it's gonna pay off.
What has the draft process been like for you?
It's been good. It's kind of it was a little bit of an added stressor at the end of your senior year, and trying to navigate all this stuff. But it's cool that the teams acknowledge your skill and potential. So that's cool. But it's been good. It's been a good process, and I've had a lot of people around me to help support me that have made it better.
Major League pitcher wise, which one do you look up to and want to be like?
Yeah, I really like Spencer Strider for the Braves. He's shorter, but he has huge quads, has a cool mustache. He throws super hard and has a great slider. So I mean, he's mostly a fastball slider guy like I am. And he also, I mean, he had Tommy John early on, and he came back even stronger. So I like that. He stuck with it and had dedication, and he's a stud, and he's a really cool pitcher. So I want to be like him.
Hitting 101 against Effingham on my gun. When you hear that number, what's that mean to you?
It's super cool. I mean, I was trying to hit 100 the whole year, and I never really knew about I guess the warm up pitch. So I mean, I got to do it in a game first, but it's always been a goal of mine to hit 100 off the mound. So that's really cool. And I heard a couple of my teammates were saying something about it, and like I wasn't quite sure. So I asked Coach DiFilippo, and he said that a couple of people had it. So I'll take it.
Biggest role model?
Yeah, probably my dad. Super humble, probably the most selfless man I know. He's always willing to put others first. So having that kind of mindset and selflessness is big, and it's something I strive for.
What has the support been like from your family?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I wouldn't be here without them, and they've supported me in every decision that I made, and giving up basketball and focusing on my training and doing everything I can to be the best pitcher possible. They were very supportive of it, and just wanted to see me go after my dreams and see me at my fullest potential.
So no matter what happens, whether the draft or Arizona, what will be your goals?
I mean, my goals is to be a professional pitcher. Play in the MLB for, I guess, as long as I can, and make a career out of that. But I mean, that's my end goal. I know there's a lot of steps to take in between then, and but I'm excited for the journey.
Day one to where you're at now, and just everything in general.
Yeah, biggest one is probably my catcher, Carter Johnson. He's been a stud for us, and has caught me ever since 9U. So it was awesome doing the senior year with him. But just my teammates, coaches, family, and my friends for all just being supportive, and members of the community coming out to the games to watch. It's been awesome. It'll be a season I'll never forget, and I'm just super thankful for all the support.
Blake Wolters, 2023 graduate of Mahomet Seymour. He is planning to attend baseball at Arizona University. The draft is in a couple weeks, so we'll see if he gets drafted or not. But either way, you have a bright future ahead of you, Blake. Thank you so much for taking time. We wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it. It's my pleasure, and thanks for your time.